Bad news for Joe Biden, causing the mainstream media to freak out again. Vanity Fair is among the mainstream outlets that are panicking, saying that Trump is getting exactly what he wants now that a Senate investigation has been opened into Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden. Doing a roundup of some big news stories from this week. Some of this info came out late yesterday. First, Senator Lindsey Graham has launched a Senate probe into Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden's actions at Burisma. Joe Biden seemed to be falling apart in the last Democrat debates that just took place a couple of days ago. He seemed distracted and downright confused at times. People were wondering if this had anything to do with the scrutiny against Joe Biden and his son with Burisma, the increasing scrutiny. There's also news this week, and the timing is interesting that this story just came out, and Joe Biden also freaked out at a reporter for asking about his son Hunter's paternity test. On Wednesday, the results from a paternity test revealed that Hunter Biden fathered a son with a woman in Arkansas around the time that he was dating his brother Beau's widow. During a press event on Thursday, Joe Biden was asked to comment on the court filing. Fox News reporter asked, quote, "I'm wondering if you have a comment on this report and court filing from Arkansas that your son Hunter made you a grandfather again." Biden was outraged at the question. He dismissed the question, responding, quote, "No, that's a private matter. You're a good man, classy," he added, I guess sarcastically. Daily Mail article acknowledging that this most recent filing comes as Hunter Biden continues to face intense scrutiny over his shady business dealings in Ukraine and whether or not his father, Joe Biden, then vice president, used his influence to avoid his son's prosecution. This was a tweet directly from the Senate Judiciary from yesterday afternoon, confirming Chairman Lindsey Graham sent a letter to Secretary of State Pompeo requesting documents related to contacts between Vice President Biden, Hunter Biden, other Obama administration officials, and Ukrainian President Poroshenko. Also in other news, a former FBI official is under criminal investigation for allegedly altering Russia probe documents. Some more big news that broke late yesterday. Some may have seen this news that the Justice Department is investigating an FBI official for allegedly altering a document as part of the Trump-Russia probe. It's been reported that the altered document was recovered as part of the Justice Department Inspector General's investigation into the FBI's surveillance activities against Carter Page, former Trump campaign advisor. The outlet cited several people briefed on the matter. At the same time, there's been anticipation for this next FISA abuse report from the Inspector General set to be released on December 9th. They did not identify the FBI official yet in these news reports. CNN had reported on this, though they did not identify the official or describe the document that was allegedly altered. But the revelation, they point out, is likely to fuel Republicans' outrage at how the FBI conducted the Russia investigation. They have long faulted the Bureau for relying heavily on the unverified Steele dossier to obtain surveillance warrants against Page. The Justice Department has not immediately responded to a request for comment, but the report could shed light on news reports from October that Durham's probe into Russiagate's origins recently shifted to a criminal investigation. Attorney General William Barr tapped Durham in May to lead an administrative inquiry. Little is known about what Durham has been investigating, but the report that the inquiry had become a criminal matter led to widespread speculation that it involved information uncovered during Horowitz's investigation. Horowitz told lawmakers in June that his team interviewed more than 100 witnesses and reviewed more than 1 million pages and documents in the investigation, told lawmakers on October 24th that the report is lengthy and that most of the document will be available for public view. And going back to the story from the opening of this video having to do with the Senate probe that has just been launched against the Bidens and their Burisma actions, they have some more details in this article. Senator Graham sent a letter to Secretary of State Pompeo requesting the documents to assist in answering questions regarding allegations that Joe Biden was involved in the termination of Ukrainian Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin in order to end an investigation into natural gas company Burisma Holdings, where his son, Hunter Biden, served on the board. The senator requested all documents and communications related to Joe Biden's phone calls with Poroshenko on February 11th, 18th, and 19th, and March 22nd, 2016, citing media reports that they discussed previous demands to dismiss the former Ukrainian Prosecutor General Shokin for alleged corruption before he was removed from office on March 29th, 2016. Graham also requested documents and communications between Joe Biden and his office and Poroshenko and his office between February 2nd, 2016, when Burisma founder Zlochevsky's home was raided, and Shokin's dismissal. Lastly, Graham sought all documents and communications related to a meeting between Devon Archer, a business partner of Hunter Biden, and then Secretary of State John Kerry on March 2nd, 2016. Even while Joe Biden has tried to claim that he never talked to his son about his dealings in Ukraine, this picture was shared by President Trump, and actually it was removed by Twitter. At first, they said for copyright reasons. You may have seen this picture previously. I shared it in another video with Joe and Hunter Biden, and Devon Archer is also in this picture. After President Trump shared the photo as part of a meme, it was taken down by Twitter. People questioned the selective enforcement of this copyright rule. That was Twitter's excuse for removing the photo. Donald Trump Jr. and others continued to share the photo, asking, not sure why Twitter wouldn't want you to look at this photograph. So we can look at the actual letter that was sent by Senator Graham to Pompeo, saying, Dear Secretary Pompeo, it is my understanding that on February 4th, 2016, the Ukrainian Prosecutor General's office, under the direction of Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin, announced the seizure of property from Ukrainian natural gas company Burisma Holdings founder Zlochevsky. The seizure occurred pursuant to a raid on Mr. Zlochevsky's home on February 2nd, 2016. It is also my understanding that on February 4th, 2016, Hunter Biden began following then Deputy Secretary of State Tony Blinken, a longtime advisor to Vice President Joe Biden, on Twitter, indicating that the two may have initiated conversations regarding Prosecutor General Shokin's investigation into Burisma. At that time, Hunter Biden was serving as a board member for Burisma. In addition, according to records obtained by media sources, on February 11th, 18th, and 19th of 2016, Vice President Biden held a series of phone calls with Ukrainian President Poroshenko regarding previous demands to dismiss Prosecutor General Shokin for alleged corruption. Another phone call between the two took place on March 22nd, 2016, just 7 days before Prosecutor General Shokin was removed from office on March 29th. To assist in answering questions regarding allegations that Vice President Biden played a role in the termination of Prosecutor General Shokin in an effort to end the investigation of the company employing his son, Senator requests the following. 1. All documents and communications, including call transcripts or summaries related to the Vice President's phone calls with President Poroshenko on February 11th, 18th, and 19th, and March 22nd of 2016, especially with respect to whether Vice President Biden mentioned the Prosecutor General's investigation into Burisma. Second, all documents and communications between the Vice President and his office and President Poroshenko and his office after the raid on Mr. Zlochevsky's home on February 2nd until the dismissal of the Prosecutor General on March 29th. And finally, all documents and communications related to a meeting between Devon Archer, a business partner of Hunter Biden, and Secretary of State John Kerry on March 2nd, 2016. Tell me what you think about any of these recent news updates, the Senate probe that has just been launched into Joe Biden and his son, or any comments about this separate investigation, criminal investigation against a former FBI official for allegedly altering these documents that were used against President Trump and his campaign. I will continue to cover anything else related here. Tell me what you think in a comment. If you could give this video a thumbs up, that's greatly appreciated. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Thanks everybody that has been sharing the channel and sharing these videos. And in the video description are links to my Patreon and PayPal accounts where you can support the channel directly. I'll follow up soon. Thanks again.